Good morning. I hope you guys are all doing great. I'm going to be connecting with Tyler today with Beauty Book. Give me 1 second. Let's get him on. I'm going to be doing a new segment. So I missed doing live the lives on here, and I wanted to start incorporating people that I think and that have things to offer. So let's see. Okay. I think, give it 1 second. Success! Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thanks for having me on today.
Of course. Thank you for joining me. And again, every time I'm on here, I swear they change like how you do something. So I'm glad we're both on here. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So first, I just want to say, anyone joining us, I am Courtney Cox, and I am the founder and one of the educators here at Brilliance Advanced Beauty Education. We do advanced continuing education for beauty professionals and massage therapists, and we do continuing education hours. So I just like to say that in case there's someone new here. But we used to do a fair amount of lives. I wanted to start getting into them again because I am just meeting such amazing people in our industry. And like Tyler, Tyler and I are talking, and he's going to be one of the sponsors for our conferences coming up in September. But I wanted to bring him on and just kind of let you guys get to know Tyler more and company Beauty Book. So, Tyler, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of how you got started?
Absolutely. As you mentioned, my name is Tyler. I run beautybook.io, and it's basically the ultimate business management tool that we designed specifically for independent beauty professionals. We wanted to focus first on obviously being able to kind of streamline the booking process, allowing both clients to schedule online. But there was a big concern of, people just randomly scheduling on there. And so we wanted to give you the option as well as, hey, if you want to get a consultation in first, you can require that for whatever service. Obviously, we included payment processing, your own website, all that good stuff. We kind of got started, I came from the health and fitness industry, and, I opened up my first facility back in 2014, and it was a very similar struggle in terms of booking sites, and finding a platform that met all of our needs. And I think before we ended up settling for one, we went through five or six. And so I understand the struggle more than most people know, and that was kind of our goal, kind of building this platform for this industry. It's like it's very similar in terms of the needs, and so we wanted to kind of provide the best platform for the best price out there as well. So yeah, that's kind of how we got started and where we are
That's
now.
great. I know that you had mentioned to me also when getting started that you guys spent a lot of time researching and talking to
Mm.
professionals about what their pain points were with their booking systems. So I think that's super important to be listening
Yeah.
to your customers or potential
Hmm.
customers. And I've had the luxury of being on Beauty Book, and I find it very user friendly and just like a nice, simple
Hmm.
platform. It's not confusing and, like you said, very affordable. So,
Yep.
you know, time where expenses are higher for most things, it's nice to have something if you're thinking about adding this or changing systems. This is just, it's not going to take you a lot of time to
Mm.
understand it. And it's not going to break the bank, which is a wonderful thing. So, uh,
Absolutely.
so what made you decide to branch into the beauty if you were in the in the health industry field?
That's a good question. So, my co-founder initially was actually he had a growth company for the beauty industry. His fiance was a stylist. They had moved from I believe Jersey out to Utah, and obviously you can't bring your clients with you. So she was kind of starting from scratch, and he had a big marketing background, and so they built this company on based off of what they tested through her and her success. And so his next kind of step in that evolution was to, you know, all of my clients that I work with, either ask me who we recommend for booking or if we have our own. And so there was clearly a need for something that was, as you mentioned, kind of clean, simple, not super overcomplicated. And so that's when we kind of started diving into it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you see a need, you go with it, right?
That's right. That's right. And I think that's, going back to what you mentioned earlier about listening to, your audience and your customers. That's kind of the big thing I've noticed. And I don't, want to talk down any competitors, but it seems like as companies get, and it seems natural as companies get bigger and bigger, they don't listen to a lot of the feedback or the needs of the industry, especially as it continues to grow, because people's needs change over time, and that's something that I personally I love chatting with customers and clients because it keeps us making sure we're providing the best product for you guys. And so that's something that I love. If you have feedback or you have suggestions, reach out to me personally. Through Beauty Book, we want to keep that communication going, regardless of how big we grow. So,
Yeah, that's great. That's so important.
mhm,
Along those lines, what do you, if you're willing to share, I know some people are very
mhm.
secret next step, but what do you see or have planned for Beauty Book in the future?
That's a good question. So we've got a list of things, and this is something that goes back to listening to the feedback. And I get the opportunity to be in a lot of groups, and obviously as an independent professional, there's a ton of things that a lot of people aren't aware of. Taxes, should I do an LLC, an S corp, all this stuff, and so we want to be able to provide that information and services through this platform down the road as we continue to grow. So those are kind of the big things that if you guys are familiar with large CRMs like Salesforce and accounting services like QuickBooks, my goal is to kind of combine all this stuff to have it in one site. So we're kind of the go-to for specifically for this industry. You don't need to go pay somebody, $1,000, $2,000 for a website. You don't need to go pay an accountant, thousands of dollars to set up an LLC or an S corp, file taxes. I want to be able to provide all that stuff in one single platform. Be your go-to instead of having, six, seven different, eight different logins that you got to remember and manage and all that stuff. So yeah.
That sounds amazing. And and seven less passwords sounds
Right.
um, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What was I gonna ask you? I'm trying to think. Do. It's coming to me, I
Oh, good.
swear.
I will say while you're thinking, one of the things, with partnering up for you for your upcoming conference, we wanted to. I'm a big fan of letting as many people try our platform as possible without any cost. And right now, currently we offer a 30-day free trial. Cancel whenever. We don't want to hold anybody accountable to, anything longer than that if they don't like it. And if you don't like it, tell me why so we can fix it. But with your conference coming up, we want to be able to offer a good amount or a good number of people first year free access and a handful of select depending on where they're at, lifetime free access. So that's something we're looking to do for this conference. And so I'm looking forward to kind of chatting with everybody from the conference and seeing who's the right
That
fit.
is such a generous offering too. I'm super excited to be able to offer that to our guests at the conference.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to really kind of dive in because sometimes, and I think even 30 days free, try it out is very generous. But
Mm-hmm.
on the same, you're smart because a lot of companies, and I'm not just saying like in the booking system, similar types of things will offer like a week. Well, we're all busy. And so sometimes
Yes.
a week goes by and you've barely looked at it and you're
Right.
like, oh, well, I
Mm-hmm.
either do this or I'm going to cancel it. And so
Right.
this really allows for some good time to kind of dive in and make sure it's a good fit, or even just talk to you guys and
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, so are you going to do this, or how can we, how can I incorporate this kind of thing? So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm super excited about that, and that we'll be able to, expose what you're offering to so many more people. Because
Mm-hmm.
I have definitely seen a lot of pain points with people on using their platforms right
Mm-hmm.
now, whoever some growing pains, and
Yep.
or they're trying to cut costs, and but it's such a luxury, but yeah, it's beneficial to have the minimal paying alone, if you're not hiring a receptionist to sit at your
Right.
front office or whatever, will pay for itself and then some, just by
Hmm.
to remind people of the appointments and let them book.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, I remembered what I was going to say. So
Okay.
it really wasn't a question, but um, since connecting with you, of course, I'm on your email list.
Hmm.
And I also feel like just even being a part of that, you have been covering such great topics and just sharing information. And I love that, some of them are more simple than others, but you just really provide some different value in your emails alone.
Thank you.
So yeah, of course. I mean, and that's just part of it. You want to provide education and knowledge. But of course you have a service to offer that's amazing. So
Absolutely. And that's something that we just started with our latest little blog series on our website, was kind of diving in, because there's a ton of information that obviously there's so much information about just the industry itself in terms of the skills that I will never be able to learn in my lifetime, right? And so I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on helping you grow your business. And so we're kind of diving into financial terminology and kind of just to the business side of the stuff that we want to make sure everybody's aware of. Again, eventually being able to tie that back into the platform itself that you can use, but just being aware of business basics, I think, is a big key, especially for people that are coming out of school, whether they're starting in their own salon or they're going somewhere else, and kind of just working and kind of learning the ropes. I think it's still getting this. I don't want to say the word, MBA, if you will, but at least learning those basics is going to take you so much further in your business. So,
absolutely. And very much so our beauty school or our massage school doesn't really cover that. I mean, they cover a
right.
tiny portion, but there's so much more to learn. And unfortunately, you may be amazing at your craft, whatever your services are, but
Hmm.
if you're not business, then you can really sink. And I even feel strongly that even if you're working for someone, this is still true, because
Yep.
we still need to provide customer service. We
Hmm.
still need to provide sales. You need to rebook them, all these things, offer
Right.
product. And these are all things, and healthy boundaries. That's always a
Hmm.
really tough one. We're service providers and we're givers,
Yep.
but if you can get really walked on and messed with,
Hmm.
if or if you don't pay your bills,
Right.
or if even having a better financial. I love that you're kind of going into that direction eventually too,
Mm.
because I have some classes about basic finances, because it's just so many people will say like, oh, it's not my thing. Well, it's like,
Right.
well, I could say that about anything that I haven't
Hmm.
learned. It's really just a skill we haven't learned, but
Right.
you can take an advantage of, or anything.
Hmm.
So it's nice to learn those skills so then you can make better decisions for yourself. Even if you're employed by someone else, you can
Right.
make that. So
Yep.
like, yes, I can afford a vacation. No, I can't take it.
Right.
you know,
Right.
so
And I think, especially in the independent world, if you're a 1099 versus a W-2, and even for a W-2, knowing what certain write-offs, are better, or that you actually can write this, this thing off versus this thing, just those small little things that make a huge difference.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And you don't want to miss anything that you could have
Right.
written
Yep.
off. Sure. Yeah. That's one.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you've watched Schitt's Creek.
Hmm.
The
Yep.
write-off people. Oh my gosh. If
Uh-huh.
you don't remember that scene, just Google the
Yeah.
write-off Creek. It's so funny. David thinks he can write
Gotcha.
everything.
Yep.
It's like,
Uh-huh.
no, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Is there,
Absolutely.
I do want you to say like where people can find you.
Hmm.
If there's anything else you think we should let people know about you and Beauty Book, this would be, or if anybody watching has any questions for Tyler, feel free. Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can. So if you want to email me directly, we do spell Beauty Book a little bit differently, as you can kind of see in the name. There's no Y, there's an I. But team@beautybook.io, comes right directly to me. We're all over social media, Facebook, Instagram. I need to get a little bit more on TikTok, but I'm not a big fan of making videos of myself. But Anyway, you can hit us on all those platforms or email me directly.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And
Absolutely.
thank you, anyone who's watching or catching the replay. I think you guys should definitely check out Beauty Book or share it with any friends that you think might be looking for either a booking system or changing to a different booking system. So they're providing a lot of value, and I think it's just amazing to have a nice, clean, simple, affordable option that you can utilize without, making yourself stressed out. So,
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
of course, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Oh,
Thank you too.
need to check them out. Thank you. Oh,
Absolutely.
thank you. All
All
right.
right. Bye.
Bye.